Hey, fifth graders, now it's time to do a writing. This morning you read about President's Day, President Lincoln, and President Washington. So our question for you is, who would make a better president? You're going to write an opinion piece that introduces your topic, states your opinion, provides reasons, uses transition words, and has a concluding statement. Remember that we've already completed our opinion writing. We spent about 10 weeks on opinion writing, so this should be a review. I also want to remind you that this should be appropriate fifth grade writing. I should not just see President Lincoln would make a better president, or George Washington would make a better president. I need to see your reasons, your examples. I need to see your topic sentence. I need to see your conclusion sentence. So let me show you where you're going to put all this information and some resources that may help you, okay? So if you'll go to Google Classroom and click on classwork, of course, the week of February 16th through the 19th, and it's Tuesday, February 16th, writing classwork. And it says, as you open it, I'll read it, you will complete this while on Zoom during ELD and in the afternoon. If you do not return to Zoom at 1:15, you are still responsible for completing it on your own. This is classwork and you do need to be working on it while on Zoom. What that means is you're not waiting until 9 o'clock at night when you have a parent beside you. This should be your own work. So let me open it and explain what you're doing. And just so you know and the substitute knows, I do have the directions in the Google slide as well, so that my substitute can see exactly what you're doing. So let me go back over to it, and here it is. So what you're going to do first is you're going to read the 8 facts about the presidents, and notice that this document does a great job of giving you the vocabulary words and what they mean. So step 1, read the facts. Step 2, now it's time to state your opinion. Guess what? This will be your first sentence. What is your opinion? Do you think George Washington would make a better president than Abraham Lincoln? Or do you think Abraham Lincoln would make a better president than George Washington? You're just going to drag this where you want it, okay? That's your very first sentence. It's there. It's written for you. I guess this will be step 3. Yeah, step 3, your planning page. It's time to write your persuasive essay. Persuasive is that big word for opinion. The 8 facts are once again sitting to the right. You actually only have 4 facts there, I think. Choose 3 of them to use in your plan. So your introduction is whatever you drag this red box to, okay? So whatever sentence you have here that red box is around, you're going to type it right here. It even says it right here. It tells you what to do. There's a tip right there for you. Now here's your fact sheet right here. You see it? So there are there 8 here? Let me look. Oh, there are 8. See how you're going to use this bar and move it over? You're only going to choose 3. Which of these 3 facts are you going to move? Now here's where I want to caution you. If you chose that you think George Washington would make a better president than Abraham Lincoln, you're only going to choose facts that talks about George Washington being good for the United States. Okay? So then you could drag it here. If you chose Abraham Lincoln, make sure you only drag over blue boxes that talk about Abraham Lincoln being good for the United States. So that's those 2. Here, you have 2 choices. You can choose to put one that some people might argue against, or you may choose also just to continue writing about why that president that you chose would make a better president, okay? Your choice. But don't forget this. This is your explanation. So if I pulled this one over because I chose that George Washington would make a better president, and I typed in, I think George Washington was a better president than Abraham Lincoln. If I type that, because that's what I chose, I think George Washington was a better president than Abraham Lincoln, I'm only going to pull over blue boxes that talks about George Washington. Only going to do one as an example. How does this fact support your opinion? Well, it says George Washington was the first president of the United States, serving 2 terms from 1789 to 1797. Most believe he would have won a 3rd term, but he chose to retire to his Mount Vernon farm. So now I can type, well, this blue box is talking about George Washington being the first president. So I could type something like George Washington was the first president. He fought, and then I'm going to tell more about that. Okay? So these other 2 boxes you're going to do the same thing with. Just make sure they support the president that you've got up here. And then your conclusion sentence, look, it gives you tips right here. In your conclusion, restate your opinion and wrap up your essay. Look right here. Here are your transition words. Don't forget to add them. I added this document for you. We should remember not only from our opinion writing, but from our races writing, when we conclude, we have to have one of these words. So I'm going to start with, as you can see. As you can see, George Washington made a phenomenal president. And then I might add 1 or 2 sentences summing up one of these details, okay? So now, when I'm done with that, and I've made sure that I have transition words in here, I'm ready to type it. Remember, when I type it, I'm going to make sure everything that's here actually gets put on here. I'm not rewriting it. So here, this would be the first thing that I wrote. So I'd make sure I copied and pasted it or typed it to be the first thing. I'm not typing something new. I'm using my planning page to help me. So use that planning page to type, okay? Now, you will not finish during ELD time. So today when you come back at 1:15, you will continue it. So after I finish typing it, do I just turn it in or should I do something? Yep, you need to do something. You need to edit and revise. So shared with you from our last writing should be your self-edit and peer edit. You can use that. It should be in your email. You can use that to help you. Make sure you start with capitals. Make sure you end with punctuation. Make sure you've started with that topic sentence. Make sure you've stated your opinion. Make sure that you have transition words. So use that. If you don't have it, the sub will send it out to you when you return at 1:15 so you can edit yourself, okay? You will be turning this in today. So if you don't finish now, you'll get to finish it this afternoon. If you choose not to log back into Zoom, which I highly encourage everybody to log back into Zoom because it is required, you will have to finish on your own as it is a grade. All right, start writing. I can't wait to read it.